You will see this chemistry question on your MCAT.
Question 10. Which of the following statements best characterizes a material that is a good insulator but a poor conductor? So first of all, insulators and conductors, when you describe a material as such, you're basically describing its ability to conduct electricity, which is the movement of electrons, okay, to form a current. Now, if we look at the answer choices, A, the material contains no electrons, is just wrong because everything contains electrons. So that can't be right. B, the magnitude of the electric field inside the material is always equal to 0. And that's not true either. It's not necessarily true for any insulator. Okay, it doesn't really have anything to do with its ability to insulate the movement of electrons or prevent them. And then C, the atoms in the material can easily move from one lattice site to another. Well, this could be a tempting answer, but the key word here is atoms, okay? And this is actually referring to the material's capability to conduct ion movement, okay, ions, right? So this is actually called ionic conductivity, not electrical conductivity, all right? And ionic conductivity is basically the ability of a material to transmit ions, okay, through it. And so C is referring to that, but not electrical conductivity, which is what insulators and conductors refer to when you're describing material. And then D, electrons in the material cannot easily move from one atom to another, and that is correct. Okay, that describes an insulator. And what makes something a good conductor rather than a good insulator is when the valence electrons around the individual nuclei, and remember the valence electrons are the outermost shell electrons, okay, of any atom, they are free to move around. And this is typical with metals, which are good conductors. With metals, the actual atoms form these lattice structures, where the nuclei and their inner core electrons are sort of static, but the valence electrons of each atom are free to move around, forming this like sea of electrons, and that conducts electric charge very well. Whereas insulators do not have that. And in fact, in insulators, what makes them resist the movement of electricity is the fact that their valence electrons are very tightly held, and they can't move around like that. So D here is the best answer.